Hey, what's up, fellas? Welcome back. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the break. Hopefully, we got all-star game, 3-point shootout, the dunk contest. The dunk contest was terrible.
hmm I
I
mean,
mean, talk about a letdown.
I kind of figured though with like the guys that were in it. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm an Anthony Simons fan, but come on, you know what I'm saying? Like people are not. Most casual fans have not heard of any of those guys.
Yeah, when Anthony Simons is the big name in the dunk contest, you might have some issues as far as like drawing fans. The 3-point contest was awesome. So before he started, I told myself I'm going to pick who do I want to win and who do I think is going to win. And I looked at the field. I'm like, this just seems like Steph's year. Like it just seems like Curry should run the tables, and I have trouble picking anybody else. I go, but I'm gonna root for Conley, right? Like old guy, first time in that thing. Like I'm gonna root for Conley, and for like to come down that way, like man, that was good. That was fun. That was exciting.
No doubt about it.
So, and the game was pretty good itself.
Yeah, the game was exciting. You get the best players in the world. It's always fun to see those guys interact. So, yeah, man. I'm sure these guys appreciated having a few days off. I know we did. Nice, tiny 2-game slate to hop back into it.
Yeah, guys. So we are just gonna bust through this in like a normal members only video. Matt's gonna do a write up for paying customers at the end of the day. Click the thumbs up button if you can. If you are interested in playing drafters with us, the promo code is DFS 5-pack. Let us know you signed up. And as far as sports betting goes, we've been talking a lot more of that lately with our good people over at Jazz Sports. The name of the website is jazzsports.ag. If you sign up, use the promo code 5-pack. It's just 5-pack. And if you do that, let me know that you made a deposit so I can get you a free 5-pack membership.
Yeah, for sure. Excited about all the stuff we got going on, and I am excited about making a video with you. I was thinking about it the past couple of days, and I couldn't wait to get back on with you, even though you probably don't believe that.
I do believe it. I do believe it. I know you're ready to talk some sports, and I'm ready to talk some sports with you, young man. Maybe we can get to some baseball videos this week as well. If anybody's looking for fantasy baseball leagues to play in, hit me up in addition to that. So, like you said, 2-game slate tonight. Nice. They start basically back to back like this with only a half-hour discrepancy. If I could just give one sentence about how to take a look at this one, hit the first game hard. I don't like the second game at all. San Antonio guys are way too expensive because everybody's been out. Now they're healthy. Dallas is basically Luka or bust. So if you want to play Luka, I get that. But the first game, I expect this to be a game. We just saw these two teams match up the other day. Washington has been playing good basketball. They just looked like they lost interest for like a quarter of this game. Russell Westbrook started looking as careless as possible, just throwing turnovers away like he was getting paid to do so. I expect this to be a high-scoring, competitive, exciting 4-quarter game.
I don't disagree, but I am going to play big devil's advocate here because I figured you would say that because that's the common thought when you look at this slate. However, this slate looks a lot like a baseball slate to me. You've got a 2-gamer, which are pretty rare. After the All-Star break, so these teams have had like a week off. Wouldn't be shocked at all if either both of these games play out real weird, blowouts, they play really slow. Not going to be shocked if the San Antonio-Dallas game is actually a better DFS game than Washington-Memphis just tonight because, like I said, things play out weird. So, again, optimal, like if you're making an optimal line, you're right. But just on the fact of being different tonight, I have interest in Dallas, San Antonio. Like that in itself is enough for me tonight. Usually in NBA, it's not, but tonight it is.
I get that. I don't like that game at all. I agree with your point. I just don't like that game even a little bit. Otherwise, I would be jumping in 2 feet with you. So we'll break down the first game really quick. As far as Washington goes, if anybody watched Washington play Memphis, what is this, 10 days ago now probably?
Maybe a little
8
less.
days ago.
Yeah.
8 days ago. Like I said, Russell Westbrook just played a terrible second quarter. He started the game hot. I want to give Dylan Brooks some credit because he mano-y-mano'd Bradley Beal, and it was the best defense. And you could hear the announcers talking about it going, Dylan Brooks is playing Bradley Beal and chasing him around and playing the best defense on him that we've seen anybody play all year. And he did it to him last year as well, too. So apparently Brooks defends Bradley Beal about as well as anybody does in the league. Doesn't mean Beal's not in play. But for today, I'm Team Russ over Bradley Beal, even at the price difference.
I feel like you're pretty much always Team Russ over Beal.
Most of the time.
I mean, and for me, it just comes down to like who you like more between them is a personal preference. And outside of them, it's hard to really like anyone else. Tonight, obviously, it's a different matter because there's only 2 games. But after Beal and Westbrook, the talent discrepancy is big.
Yeah, the other guys on Washington that I could understand playing, like not that I'm super excited about, but I could get how they make your lineup, would be a Bertans, who's 4,400. You know, he didn't have his best 2 games before the break, but I think the most important thing with him is he has played over 20 minutes in every game for recent stretch. He's got some big GPP upside games on this price tag. He's got some few stinkers in there as well. So I prefer him in the GPP mold. But on a day like today, when you have 2 games, I would say he's even cash game viable.
I get that.
You know, he's 4,400. Don't be surprised if he lets you down. Don't be surprised if he's in GPP winning lineups.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you really like this game. You don't like the second game at all. And unless you want to go like 5 deep on Memphis, I mean, you're going to need some Washington pieces.
Yeah, and the other guy's Rolo. You know, he isn't the most exciting play in DFS, but there's a really good chance that we don't get almost anybody else that's in play under 3,500.
Truth.
You know, I mean, dude does have double digits in at least 10 straight games, which isn't, you know, you're looking for more than 10 off 3,400. And he's, you know, 16, 17, 24, 20, 33, 17. Like, he's up there consistently. The center position isn't exactly loaded today. And if you want Luka and Russ and Ja, like, you're going to have to spend down somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think he gets much love either. Maybe a little bit because, like you said, under 3,500, it's going to be tough to find guys.
Yeah, so speaking of Ja, before the All-Star break started, we saw him play what might be his best 2 games of the season. Great game against Milwaukee. Thank you, Drew Holiday, for the game winner on that one. He was excellent against Washington in the game before that too, and he closed real hard that day. Was big time chalk. What do you think of him at 7,800?
He was not very good in the first half against Milwaukee. I don't think he was like 0 of 8 shooting or something to start.
He was really good in the second half.
Yeah, like I could not believe he walked out of that game with 50. I mean, it's hard not to like Morant here. I mean, yeah, what's not to like, I guess, is my question to you.
Well, it's different when you think about them that everybody rostered him 8 days ago at 7K. And so now he feels too expensive, but he's not. He deserves his price tag.
Yeah, he doesn't feel too expensive to me at all. He felt way too cheap at 7K.
Okay. You know, we talk about what's the word? What's the saying that you always use? Perception is reality. And if you rostered him at 7K 8 days ago, it can feel like he's pricey,
sure,
but he's not. He deserves to be 7,800. He is, if anything, maybe still a few dollars cheaper than he could be in this matchup.
Yeah, agreed. So he looks good here, no doubt about it, man.
The Wizards suck at defending the lane. Well, what does Ja Morant do very well? He gets into the lane, and he makes buckets, and he distributes out to his shooters. Yeah. So I am heavily interested here as well, which makes the point guard position very loaded tonight because Morant, Westbrook, and Luka, all very good looks.
Yeah, also like a couple cheaper, well, not a couple, but Winslow and Tyus Jones, both like I think in play. Tyus Jones tough to get there because he's a point guard, but you mentioned value under 3,500. If you're like playing the second game's better, I like a guy like Tyus Jones.
I get that. That makes sense because they're also playing to the first game not working out great. Maybe he gets some extra run. I think Justice Winslow is a guy that you can just lock into the small forward role today. He hasn't done anything since coming back from injury that he can't replicate on a daily basis. He's shot the ball pretty terribly for the most part. He's a decent rebounder to guy the size, and most importantly, he has small forward eligibility.
And I will say, I said something about like going 5-6 deep on Memphis. I could see that on this slate. Memphis is like priced fairly. They're not, way too cheap, but they're not too expensive at all. I mean, Melton, Dylan Brooks at 5,400. All these guys are in play.
So, Grayson Allen is out again tonight, for those of you guys who haven't noted that. So that's good for a guy like Melton, who, I'm not completely sure why he only played 15 minutes against Milwaukee. I was watching that game in the background. Didn't see the reason for that. He had been playing really well up until that. I think he's in play. He got a lot of open 3-pointers against Washington last time out. He made them, successfully, especially I think he was like 6 for 6 to start or 6 for 7. So I don't think he's a must, but he's definitely in play.
Sure, for sure. I think that he might get like a little bit he might be a little bit less owned than the other guys because of like the minutes, aren't always there.
Dylan Brooks has been a DFS 5-pack favorite for a while, and he had a rough patch. Wasn't seeing significant run. What I can say about him today that's good and bad. Good, I talked about it. He played the best defense on Bradley Beal. The Wizards announcer said that they've seen over the past year and a half. Is Dylan Brooks shadows him like Darrelle Revis back in the day as well as anybody. So he's going to be out there for bigger minutes today. It does make him exert a lot of energy on the defensive end, but just by being out there for big minutes, like that's a good thing for him because that's where we were losing him sometimes. He was sometimes losing favor to like the likes of Grayson Allen.
For sure. I guess a little worried about the foul trouble, but I'm with you. I like him here.
Yeah, I can get on board. We brought him up on the show the other day, and he was awesome for us.
Yeah.
So it's hard not to be on the good side. And he shot 7-20 that day. Now he's probably not going to get 3 locks and 3 steals again, but he's more of a guy that I think you can expect about 30 from today.
He was awesome.
Yeah, I don't expect 50 again, but man, he was phenomenal for us the other day. Other than that, Anderson's back this game, which is not great for like a Brandon Clark. So I don't know. I can see where you could use him. I won't be. And the other guy, Jonas, he was in perpetual foul trouble the entire game against Washington last time out. He picked up 2 quick ones, picked up a 3rd quick one after that. Got there late with all of his rebounds and stuff like that. Take from that what you will. I think he's one of the better options at center, but not a must or anything.
No, definitely not a must. Man, it's always tough to click that name, but if there's ever a spot, a 2-gamer against Washington. So he's definitely in play, even if, he's not a guy I'm like locking in.
Yeah, for sure. He is a tough roster because he's got a lot of stinkers, doesn't he?
Yeah, a ton of them.
And he's a hack and a half.
Mm-hmm. The thing about him is like, man, he's only got like 1 game, like I think since he came back from injury where like, it's like, man, you like need that in tournaments. But we know who he is. I think it was like his first game back against Toronto. It's not even on there. He had like 50 something.
Yeah.
But we know who he is. And if he has 50 plus tonight, no one's going to be surprised at all.
Yeah. I won't get there tonight, but center is not overly strong. So you're probably not going to love any center that you roster. That's why I might just end up on Rolo so I can spend up on the guards that I like.
I get that.
All right. So speaking of guards, as far as Dallas goes, I mean, it's hard not to start the conversation with Luka Doncic, who, he's pretty good. I don't know if anybody else knows this. He's very fairly priced today at 10-7. Yeah, he's on my short list for sure.
Like, I know you don't like this game a lot, so what's your take on like, rostering Westbrook, Beal, and Morant and not using Luka?
Well, if you want to like game stack and think that this game gets lumpy and just doesn't work out great, I'm on board. I completely get that. But I like Luka better than Beal for about $1,000 more. So I will try to get him in my optimal lineup. And I'm not saying I don't think this game is competitive. I just don't think it's a great DFS game.
I get that. I mean, I don't think it is either. It's not an exciting game by any means. I am more apt to just like, if Luka is going to be like real popular, then maybe the move is just game stacking the first game, which is obviously a better game. Yeah. I mean, it's just like that's not even a
point total's 14 points higher for a reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, I loved this game the other day, so yeah, I think there's obviously a couple ways to play it. I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you that just on paper, it's hard to not just lock in Luka at 10-7 because he could easily be 11-5 here, it feels like.
Yeah, and Luka's the guy too, right? Like, as much as I like Russ, if somebody goes for 70 tonight, I mean, unless I got like serious odds to bet on somebody else, I'm betting on Luka.
Yeah, Westbrook doesn't hit enough threes to do that enough, and not
or enough twos.
Yeah, true. Feels
he gets
like
some boards and assists, but he doesn't score like he used to.
If it feels like one of these days, if he gets hot shooting, though, I mean, I wouldn't say he's going to get 70. You're right that Luka's that guy, but I think Westbrook's got big time upside too.
Definitely. All right, guys. As far as the other guys on Dallas, Brunson, Richardson, Hardaway, Dorian Finney-Smith, Kleba, like they're all okay, but like I'm not like marking any of them down as must plays. Like if you got 4,300 in a forward spot and Kleba fits it, I'm like, all right, I gotcha. He is about as good of an option as you're going to get at the forward with 4,300 left, but you don't like start with him in your lineup.
No, I mean, these guys are certainly not exciting. I hardly ever play Dallas, to be honest. You didn't even mention Porzingis.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in Porzingis at 8,600. Like I have to pick out my big money players on this slate very carefully, and quite frankly, guys, Porzingis is just not a guy likely to make my lineup today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. He just hasn't done much for me. He's got a couple of decent games. He dropped to 51 spot on New Orleans in a 143 to 130 game. Had a monster game against Minnesota. Congratulations. That's not exactly the toughest place in the world to do it. But outside of that, like, meh. Give me all the other bigger money players, really.
I get that. I mean, probably play Valanciunas over him for the discount with their ceilings, like basically this.
I agree wholeheartedly. So as far as San Antonio goes, of all the teams playing today, I think they are without question the worst place to go. And it's twofold. One, the big one is some of these guys are expensive, right? Like we had a lot of games there without Derek White and whatnot. So like I'm not looking to pay $7,500 for Murray here. Could he have a good game off of that? Sure. If I were to roster anybody, it'd be one of your favorite players, DeRozan.
Yeah, I mean,
here's one for you. Give me DeRozan over Porzingis.
I agree with that as well. I also agree with you. Like, if you're making an optimal line or anything like that, and none of these guys are going to make it. I mean, Keldon Johnson's 5,100. What's he done since he came back? Probably nothing.
No, I mean, he's only been back for what, 2 games? Yeah. And now they get Rudy Gay back tonight, and Vassal's coming back tonight.
I could see using him though, because I mean he was like 6K plus for most of the year, even with those guys in.
Yeah, he has. I don't know. It's been a month since he's played 30 minutes, so I don't know.
He was out for a minute.
Yeah, so is he in the kind of conditioning where they play him bigger minutes? I don't know.
Maybe the All-Star break helped him. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. If I were to play anybody from San Antonio, my favorite guy is your boy DeRozan, who, again, I'm not going out of my way to play him tonight, but we've seen him be relatively successful all season long. Dallas is going to force you to play half court. I think we all know DeRozan's more than capable of having a good game in a half court type of set.
Yeah, agreed. He'd be my favorite piece. Certainly not a priority, though.
No, I'd take him over Murray today, though, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would too.
So, guys, Rudy Gay's back tonight. Like you said, Keldon Johnson's got 2 games under him. Aldridge is playing. Pirtle is 6K. No way.
I mean, it would definitely be for me if I was using one guy like Keldon Johnson for his upside at 5,100.
Yeah, I probably won't roster anybody from San Antonio. They're just in a weird spot because Dallas is also a bad matchup. They play slow. They do not give up major DFS points to their opponents. So they were in a good spot to start.
Agreed.
So, all right. Right now, 10, 11 in the morning. How would I start my lineup? I'd probably go Luka. I mean, ideally, I want Luka, Ja, and Russ. I don't know if I'm going to be able to build around that, but let's mess around for a second here and see what happens. So at small forward, I think y'all heard me mention his name, Justice Winslow. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense to me. The power forward position, since I'm rocking about 4,400 per guy, I got a Bertans or Kleba. Let's talk about this one right here. Bertans or Kleba, who would you play?
Bertans, because just I don't know. I also like say I am interested in stacking here in this spot, like one of the 2 games. If I was going on Westbrook, Beal, Morant, I need someone in the second game. So without wanting to spend blow my whole wad, the 2 guys I'd be looking at are Kleba and Keldon Johnson. So that kind of changes my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like
Definitely.
Because I need someone from that other game, but I think Bertans is the better play at 4,400 if I have to choose one. It's close.
He's got more upside.
Yes.
Like if I needed 15 points today for somebody that didn't kick my dog, give me Kleba. But if I'm looking for 30, give me Bertans.
Agreed.
So I don't know. Westbrook, Lopez, Bertans, I'm fine with that much right there. Now I can move over to the shooting guard position, and I can either spend up to Dylan Brooks or go down to Melton, which would then bring me to the forward spot. And this is kind of what I mentioned. I'm not prioritizing Maxi Kleba, but if you got 4,300 in a forward spot, he slides in there decently.
Yeah, he slides in there very nicely. I mean, I thought you're going to like whoever the forward is if you put Melton in there a lot more. Keldon Johnson.
You might. Keldon Johnson. Yeah. Well, Josh Richardson's one of those guys. Like, I'll take Richardson over Kleba. And if you feel like Melton and Brooks are going to be about the same today, then that could be an upgrade for you. But that's like a decision that I'm stuck making now.
For sure. I get that.
So, I don't know. This is about where I'm looking at. You got to fine-tune it by the end of the day. You know, if you were to be creating a GPP lineup right now, you know, obviously things are going to change. We all know that. You know, where would you start?
I mean, I think the move is to stack the first game. So throw in Westbrook, Morant, and Beal. Brooks and J-Val. I really don't even need anyone else on Washington. Lopez works, though, because he's 30. Just throw in Winslow. See, will I be able to get Brooks or no? If not, then I'll take
Brooks.
Then I'll take out Valanciunas. That's like the question, though. Throw Lopez at center.
When's the other guy? Wagner. He starts the game and he plays some minutes. He's a little better DFS player than Robin Lopez. I prefer Lopez, but you know he's still out there as well.
Also, Lopez.
What's up?
I think they're both in play, but I also prefer Lopez.
Okay.
So here, maybe Bertans. And then Keldon Johnson. I need someone from that other game.
And this could leave you with Dylan Brooks right here.
And then maybe I'd go up from Bertans to Josh Richardson. Because like I said, I don't really want anyone else from Washington if I have Westbrook and Beal.
Yeah, you're 4 deep now, so you probably would want to,
take Bertans out.
And then put Keldon Johnson in there.
Mm-hmm. And then I get Dylan Brooks. 54. And then it'll be around for Melton, Josh Richardson, any of these guys. I mean, Josh Richardson.
Whatever. Even if you play a 3-entry max today and you really like this core, you could just mess up these last spots.
And you could go Kleba instead of Keldon Johnson. It gives you 800, so you have 5,700. Go up. Is there anyone we like there? I mean, not really is the thing.
Brunson.
I don't mind him. See, this is where
Rui. We didn't bring up Rui because he was off prior to the break, but you know he had a couple of bad games, and it wasn't that long before that where Rui was starting to play a lot better.
I'll say this: it's so easy to just put Luka in instead of Beal because I don't really like anyone here. It's the same lineup you had. This is the same lineup you had with Luka instead of Beal, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, Luka's just a higher upside player, and it's not that I don't think Dallas and San Antonio projects to be a game. You don't expect it to be a blowout. And I'm with something you said early that I think is worth noting for anybody. This is the first game after a week-long absence. There is no reason things couldn't work out weird here. Memphis was playing pretty well prior to the break, but would you be surprised at all if Memphis just plays terrible today? I'm still thinking of the game against Dallas where they looked like a bad JV high school team.
Not at all. I mean, I love Westbrook coming out of the break, but I'm not sure, Memphis is a real young team. I definitely could see. I think Washington wins this game. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, then maybe we got a sports betting angle we can attack later as well because I'm kind of with you on that one. They'll remember because Washington had been playing good basketball, and then they just looked like they just brain farted for about a full second quarter in this game. They had an 8-point lead, and then. I mean, they just looked like they stopped trying, and Memphis just worked them for a quarter, and they just couldn't get back in the game.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. So I do think that Washington will remember it.
That being said, I'm also not surprised.
On Alibaba.com.
if Memphis piggybacks off of what they did running into the break, and they destroy Washington, who I expect them to play better here, but that doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean that they don't play like ass.
Truth.
So I don't know. I like that point, but I don't love the second game, which is why I struggle to play contrarian today.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely a tough spot because if you play that second game, you're really not going to like the guys you play.
No, I mean, other than Luka, there's not one guy in that game that I'm excited about rostering. Now, there's a bunch of guys, Kleba, Hardaway, DeRozan, I think you can play. None of them are going to make you feel like, dude, this guy's going to crush tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you talked about, and I'll say this, Deontay Murray at 7,500. I would play Derek White over him at 5K.
Yeah, he's back tonight. Rock and roll.
Like, I think that's the move if you're going to play one of those guys. But again, obviously not a must play.
Yeah, I like Murray more in like an up-tempo game.
Sure. Same.
He's a fast young man, really good rebounder. He's definitely turning into a better assist guy. But he's not great in the half-court sets. That's where I like DeRozan.
I got to say this, though. Like, he's projected for 35% ownership. No chance. Like, there is no way he's that high owned with John Morant right there. What do you think?
I don't think so either. And I think part of that plays into the fact that there's not a lot of value earlier in the day, so some of these cheaper guys. But I'm with you. I don't think he's going to, it's a 2-game slate. I would have said 25%.
I was going to say 15.
Yeah, I mean, that one surprised me. So, I mean, I'm definitely not confident in my numbers on that one.
I mean, he's right by John Morant. Derek White is back.
He's also only point guard eligible. And what's Luka projected for?
Yeah, Luka's projected for 50-something.
Yeah, and that's probably low. Luka's going to be overwhelming chalk.
And so I think Westbrook and Morant are real popular as well.
I do think Russ might be a little low owned, though, because of that, though. He's over 10K. He has been lately as well, but I think Luka will get rostered over Russ. People just like Luka more. And I mean, Ja, when we saw what he was doing, I think he'll get more love. He's also cheaper. And other than Rolo, who most people don't like, where's the value today?
Truth.
Rolo and Winslow.
Yep, Rolo and Winslow.
So, well, now I'm hungry. I want to eat some Rolos.
Mm-hmm. And watch some Family Matters.
Watching Family Matters? No Urkel for me today.
Do you get why I said that, though?
No, I don't.
Because Winslow, their last name was Winslow.
Ah, yes, Carl and Laura and Harriet Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hot minute since I saw that show. Right now, some of you young bucks out there that I'm jealous because you're young and I'm not, are what the hell are they talking about with Family Matters?
Yeah, I bet. You're so right.
There used to be a thing on Friday nights back when people had to have cable and we didn't have the YouTube and the Netflix that you'd get around and you'd watch these cheesy family sitcoms, Full House.
That's where TGIF, where I came from for me. That's when I definitely first heard it. That was the yes. Definitely look forward to that when I was
Perfect Strangers.
Much younger. Perfect Strangers, yeah. That was when I was much younger. So again, you're a couple years older than me. So I remember it, but vaguely.
Yeah, no doubt about it, guys. So that's what we got for today. I want to wish everybody best of luck tonight. Welcome back to the NBA. And we'll probably talk to you guys again in a little bit here.
Thanks, guys.